I thought high school was supposed to be, filled with fun memories, going to games, going out with your friends, just making the most of the last 4 years that you're supposed to be in your hometown. Unfortunately, it wasn't like that for me. Many people think that bullying just relates to, being teased, made fun of, being called names, different things, but you never think that bullying can also relate to the terms of being isolated and just not being included in the group. Being invisible to someone, being ignored by someone is a form of bullying. That's what happened to me. My friends decided to talk about plans that they were doing, like going out to games, going out to parties, going out to the mall even, or just going to get a pizza after school. And they would not include me in the group. I was sitting right next to them and they wouldn't say, hey, do you want to go with us? I started becoming a little bit more popular with the boys in my grade, and they didn't like it for some reason. I don't know why. They never told me why, but I started binge eating. I had no control over what I was eating. I would eat the worst things possible, and whenever I did, it didn't go well in my stomach. I would go to the bathroom and I would vomit everything up. My parents found out about Pillar, and I've been getting counseling there. And thanks to them, I realized that I'm a work in progress.
So a while ago, I broke up with my boyfriend. We'd been dating for a while, and during that time, I sent him sexual nude pictures. And after we broke up, I was not speaking to him because I just wanted to move on, but he sent those pictures to his friends. He didn't just send one picture, he sent multiple pictures to his friends, and his friends sent it to their friends, and I was ashamed to see their faces, the way they looked at me and laughed, and I couldn't go and talk to the counselors or anybody or any of the administrators at school because I was afraid that I would be the one getting in trouble for sending those pictures. I couldn't tell my parents because I didn't want to see my mom's face. I didn't want her to see any of those pictures that I had sent to him. I went to one of the meetings for Pillar, and I wasn't really paying attention to what they were saying, but as we were leaving, they were handing out pamphlets, and I took one. I threw it in the back of my truck. And later that week, I found one of my ex's old CDs. So I broke it. And I took one of the pieces and started to cut myself. I started cutting my arms over and over again for all the stupid mistakes that I made. And then I looked over in the passenger seat and I saw the pamphlet lying there. So I drove myself to Pillar. I walked in with blood dripping down my arms. And they took me in.
Sophia was the person who I trusted most in the world. And so when I had missed a few days because I was sick, I knew she had my back and that she had all her notes ready for me. So I was going through her backpack because that's something we always do. We always go through each other's backpacks to get notes whenever we're missing. And then I found something I never thought I would find. I found a note about her saying she wanted to kill herself. I didn't know if it was a joke or not, so I decided to take it to the counselor, and one thing led to another, and the counselors contacted Pillar, and it turns out that not only was she getting bullied at school, she was also getting bullied at home by her dad and her siblings because she liked girls. And so
they decided to put her into counseling. And then she was starting to get better. She was starting to become the Sophia that I knew and loved. And we started hanging out again. And then I got a call from her mom. Suicide, it doesn't matter what age you are, who you like, what color you are. If I would have seen the signs earlier, would I still have my best friend here?
I'd never been really close with my little brother. I thought Rodrigo was just this punk 8-year-old kid that was running around the house screaming and yelling. It was really up until a few months ago that I noticed that he would always argue with my mother over not wanting to go to school in the morning. I heard from my mother recently that he was defecating, urinating himself. This kid had been torturing my little brother. That's why he didn't want to go to school. He was so afraid, he was traumatized, and for me to be so ignorant of it is awful, and I really should have been there for him. Kids who are bullied nowadays don't really want to speak out, and especially at his age. Pillar came in, and they got us, both families from my family and the other child's family who had been hurting him, to reconcile at a conference we had, and eventually we worked things out between my brother and him, and I'm so glad he's okay now.
This is for everyone that really love me and do care for me. For my grandma, my mom, my dad, my brother. I can't. It's just too much. All these people online that just make fun of me. I mean, just because I wear these glasses and I'm blind doesn't mean I'm any different from anybody else. At school, I'm popular and people like me. I can't understand why they just can't accept me online. It was on the website first. And so I thought, if I leave the website, they can't find me. But they did. It's too much. You can't understand it. It's something that nobody can understand. And so, I think the best thing for me is just to go where I found happiness when I was a little kid. All those train tracks, oh, I love the sounds. It was so amazing just to hear them. And so maybe I could finally find peace there. But who knows, they'll probably find me there anyway. I'm so sorry. I love you. Thank you. Goodbye.
1901 to all units, 39 for 1087, possible 1082 on the tracks of Davis and Scott Street, please advise.
1907, I've been route to the 87 traffic, code 3.